Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today, yes, we have another salty batch video going forward. Of course, we have more of the Xbox fanboy community going out, trying to wrestle with having to deal with exclusives. Are they, won't they? What's going on the PlayStation platform, as well as dealing and wrestling with the fact that the PS5 Pro is more than likely a real thing, and with more and more specs being released. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into it, seeing how everybody is reacting to the latest in the PlayStation community and how it affects their Xbox ecosystem. So, right out the gate here, we have Clobril here, who is obviously a huge fan of Xbox here, but I feel like the Xbox community is pretty much muted right now. I don't see any excitement or hype anymore. Being an Xbox content creator also feels a lot less fun these days, with port begging obviously being everywhere. I hope those 4 games, more will surely follow, were worth it. You know, what are you gonna do? Now, here's my thing, and I've stated it before in past videos. We knew this was coming. Clobril, out of everybody, out of all the other fanboys, Clobril has some sense to him. I will give him that. So that's why I call out the fact that, why is this a surprise to you? Why is this, all of a sudden, is it worth it? What do you think they were gonna do? If you have a higher voice and you have a good following, you have to do your best to try and socially put out there, to the best of your ability, to buy your games. Game Pass is a great value, that's fantastic, but how far is that going to continue if they're not getting the subs? It kind of falls a little bit partly on those with a pretty big following to kind of announce that stuff. I never once saw Clobril saying, hey guys, Game Pass is all good and well, but I'm going to need you to also maybe try to buy more games often. Otherwise, we're going to maybe see something like this in the future. Just throwing that out there, buddy. Let's keep going. Peter here, obviously kind of turning over a new leaf. I don't necessarily trust the dude. The dude's doing also protected tweets and all that stuff, because everybody's just roasting the crap out of him. However, mostly the Xbox fan base is roasting him nowadays, and as you can see, negative 47% Xbox hardware decline in February, outsold 10-1 in Europe, stop the doom and gloom, Phil Spencer played Fallout with Colt Eastwood. Now, if you're not in the know, recently, about a week ago, Colt Eastwood and Phil Spencer had been playing Fallout 76 together, maybe advertently or inadvertently, I don't know, but he made a post about it and all this stuff, and Phil stating that, and I think I even had it in my last video, so go check that out, but it does show that they were kind of going back and forth a little bit in the post or two. So it's pretty funny that he calls that out. I just wanted to throw this one out there because the dude is getting cooked. Now, I'm blocked by him on social media myself. And again, now his tweets are protected, but he's trying to ruffle the feathers everywhere, essentially. But good luck to that guy there. So going over to Colt Eastwood, because we can't do anything without Colt Eastwood, by the way. I'm cautiously optimistic, and 2024 is looking far better for Xbox. Okay, we have to pause this. We have to pause because these are breakdowns. There's so much stupidity in his tweets 90% of the time. In 2024 is far better for Xbox, looking far better. This is just over 3 months in the slate that Nintendo and PlayStation have had on their plates for games, exclusive content, this, that, and the other, is dwarfing. Nothing but L's taken on the Xbox side, with them losing games, with them looking better, and we'll get to this, they're looking better and stuff on other platforms, as well as other advantages on other platforms. There's nothing looking forward to. You can say there's some stuff coming out at the end of the year that might do well. You don't know anything. So he just constantly does that. Let's continue. PlayStation has 4 big exclusives in early 2024, but after that, 0 big first party until early 2025. So exclusive content in games is what draws consumers to your ecosystem. I know you fail to understand that because Xbox isn't known to have that much exclusive content, or at least quality exclusive content, and often it's very far and few between. So of course you're going to try and do that little dig. So say what you want, spin what you want, delusion abound. Xbox has several more big exclusives the rest of 2024 into 2025. So it's always the hurry up and wait. Just wait. I've said this multiple times in previous videos. You just gotta wait, guys. You gotta continue to wait. Just the mantra right there. PS5 Pro 2024. Xbox has a hardware announcement coming. So he plans and states that there is an Xbox announcement for hardware coming. We might get over that in a little bit later. But again, you can't trust anything he says. He's been wrong 90% of the time. I mean, gee whiz. But he ends up getting cooked, as you can see below here if you're reading ahead. Incognitos, so everybody, it's funny how you can only tell if Xbox is having a good year by comparing it to PlayStation. They do set the standard, I suppose. Good burn. So he's getting cooked to shreds here. Why do you keep bringing PlayStation into this? How does that make Xbox look better, which feels like a dying platform? LOL. Also very true. My guy, we don't always have to tear PlayStation down to make Xbox look good. It can hold its own. First part, correct. Second part, I don't think Xbox can hold it its own. I mean, look what's going on. And that's all trolling aside. Until they prove differently, which I'm still waiting to this day, and it's been over a decade for them to truly hold their own, without Halo 3 holding their backs or a great Gears of War, it isn't Flight Simulator. I'm sorry. We said the same on 2021, 2022, 2023. Yeah, for sure. 2024 will be the good one. So again, other folks at least are recognizing the pattern finally. We get some of that going on. I just want the new controller TBH. So we're back to controllers. So there is a market for those that are just looking for controllers and not games. All right. Obsidian, Concord. This is true. Now, this is going to go to every platform, I believe, maybe. Or is that just Marathon? Concord might be PC, PlayStation only. Technically a console exclusive and first party if it ends up being good. I don't know. I'm not going to overhype you guys. I'm not going to do that. I'm not Cold Eastwood. Not going to do that. Why can't we get a post that simply celebrates Xbox rather than PlayStation being dragged into this somehow? You don't need one to fail, struggle in order for the other to succeed. Now that is very true. And that's what I'm saying. All I've ever wanted is for Xbox to truly succeed and not harm or damage the industry. That's why I'm not an advocate for Game Pass. I think the day and date stuff hurts the industry. It hurts their own ecosystem and it hurts the competition. That's the truth. You can argue to the moon with me on that. It's the truth. I've seen every way, shape, and form of people arguing that's not the case and that Game Pass is doing just fine, it's profitable and all that stuff. But is it profitable enough to continue going and creating these games? We know games are being more expensive to make, especially first-party AAA games. It's not sustainable. I don't care what you say until you find definitive proof, which no one to this day has. It does harm the industry. Stop. Knock it off. I don't agree with it. If you're going to do that, then yes, you're going to end up going third party because you're going to stop the BS and do that. We'll see what happens eventually, but that's the direction it's going, as we can see. Let's move on. Risk it for the biscuit. Stop the cap. PlayStation goose claiming a W here. The camera angle. He's blaming this on the camera angle. Doesn't match the PC and Xbox shots. Or are we really trying to say a PC can't do shadows like PlayStation? It's all about optimization. It probably could as well if the devs don't have a patch or optimize it for PC via mods that the modding community could probably do and quite possibly make it look different and or better. That is a possibility. That's not the point. Straight out the gate, this is the truth. So his screen doesn't show it as well. So that's why I'm posting this other one up here. You can clearly see, and some folks are mad. They're only mad when it doesn't fit their narrative, by the way. Some folks are mad like, it's barely noticeable. You're not going to stand there and look at shadows while you're playing. You know what? Sometimes you're taking a swig of your drink, you're taking a bite of your sandwich, you're setting your controller down for a moment. It's nice to know that you get the best bang for your buck and the best quality for your buck when you see it sitting there. And you're like, man, that does look nice. I think games, and I know games are art, right? They're art pieces, whether it's moving in motion, however you view it, it is art. So if it's sitting there, I admire how many times in many games, and I know a lot of you folks out there, you gamers out there, have seen and looked, whether it be Horizon, Forbidden West, and you sit there and you're just in awe. We have a big thing called photography on the games themselves. photograph mode, right? And all this stuff that you can do. And a lot of folks do it. They do it with Spider-Man and whatever the case is. I think Xbox is slowly starting to do it, but Xbox has some great looking games as well. So to say that it doesn't matter is completely incorrect. And this guy blaming it, the guy that cries in his car often, probably more often than not that we know of, and trying to state that it's a different angle. This guy takes so many L's, yet has a podcast and has such a following. Absolutely bonkers to me. We're not going to reuse the same guys here. So what we're going to go over next, I'm going to bring up good old Mr. Estal here. A couple of them just side by side. They happen to be in a same screenshot, just showing his saltiness towards everything here, and he has a major issue. PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series S. I can tell you in advance that Series S will beat PlayStation 5 in frame rate and ray tracing. Bookmark my tweet with the sunglasses emoji. That was back from October 26th of 2020, as they love to overhype their narrative. And that, of course, lets the fans down. And he has a pretty good following. Again, if you have a following, why are you lying to your folks? You're lying to yourself. You're lying to the fans. You're lying to your followers. I don't understand that. It's super disingenuous, in my opinion. Going on. So, why some people are worried the Xbox Series XS because of the PS5 Pro, it's just a Series X version from Sony without DX12 Ultimate features. LOL. Also, there's a boost coming for Xbox without a new hardware, but just with an update of DX12 Ultimate. No worries. Sunglass emoji. So now it's no worries. Have a couple clips below. Alan Wake 2 is one of the first games to require DX12 Ultimate's mesh shaders, and has another thing going on too with some digital Foundry stuff. But this, of course, was March 18th of 2024. We can totally trust a stall to not mislead fans, followers, and the like. I mean, can totally trust this guy. At one moment, the Series S is going to just dwarf the PS5 in general. And now you guys don't need to worry about the PS5 Pro. We have no official announcement or no breakdown from Mark Cerny, the architect himself. But just trust a stall who has absolutely no idea. Don't you guys worry. Not salty at all, right, guys? Oh, man. Okay, so I do have to bring up Cult again here. Nicola, good man here, states, this wrench really wants you to know that GTA 6 probably won't run at 60 on PS5 Pro, because we don't know for sure. Digital Foundry did a quick breakdown of the specs that were leaked for the Pro and said it might not be likely. So just some context there. So Colt stating, price of PS5 Pro can't run GTA 6 at 60 FPS. Xbox Series X or Series handheld portable coming 2024, because Jez is breaking that down. Supposedly that's coming. I mean, if that helps, that helps. That could be a direction for them, but where does that go with their home console space? I still don't see that working out. We'll kind of see. We don't know. I mean, Jez is wrong a lot of the time. Colt is wrong a lot of the time. We just don't know. And we don't know what that looks like. And also, can't you just play your Xbox games on a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally or everything else that's coming out under the sun that's a PC handheld? I don't understand why an Xbox, when I know the PS Portal is doing well, but it's just a native remote play type of deal. It's not trying to compete with the Steam Deck or ROG Ally or the PC handhelds. I do think it's an interesting direction. I don't know the future on how that would look, because I think the handheld market is a great market and it's becoming more and more relevant to today. But again, if there's stuff already out, how does that compete? That's always been my question. Even if PlayStation were to do that, I would worry, because I don't know how that would work out in the long run. Just 2 cents there. But Nicola goes on, if Xbox had a mid-gen refresh as well, I promise you his talking points wouldn't be which games can't run at 60. He would already have 10 videos up overhyping that shit, just like he did with the One X, which is very true. Great call-outs, and again, everything that I've been saying. If it fits their narrative, they're going to overhype it, mislead you, all that good stuff. Let's continue. Gaming Prophet, he has to return almost every time. He loves taking L's daily. There's absolutely no reason to buy a PS5 Pro, because IGN also speculates, don't expect the PS5 Pro to run GTA 6 at 60 FPS, tech experts say, pulling from, again, Digital Foundry. So because the PS5 Pro cannot, may not, we don't know yet, run 60 frames per second for GTA 6, there's no reason to buy it. But there is a reason to buy an Xbox, right? With all of their games heading to other platforms, right? Okay, buddy. We don't need to spend any more time on that. The guy's clearly an idiot, so let's continue here. All right, Xbox connoisseur, PS5 Pro, no major releases till 2025. Useless TFS, no games, fire emoji. Wait, what? So we have no major releases supposedly till 2025. This thing is supposed to be backwards compatible to upgrade the older games as well, previously released games. So there is opportunity for this. And again, we don't know anything. Stop speculating. You sound salty, you sound jealous as hell. And again, if there was a mid-gen refresh for the Xbox, a different tune would be sung. I promise you that. Let's continue to go. One more from, and one final one from Colt. I mean, he's just on a roll lately. And the fact that he's making so many ridiculous tweets shows how much he is hurting deep down inside from everything. Just pure damage control. And just don't forget, he plays most of his games on PC, but he's got to be sticking up for Xbox hardcore, right? PS5 Pro is identical to the base PS5 with a 10% boost. Hope you all enjoyed the few days of bragging teraflops. Perfect upgrade if it's around 600 or less. So this is going off of what Tom Henderson speculated or had what was leaked. And then Tom Warren states a 10% boost to just the CPU. There's a 45% boost to GPU and 2 to 3 times ray tracing performance. So has to correct Colt on that, by the way. I think that's hilarious because, again, he's speculating, underhyping, because it's not Xbox narrative driven, underhyping what's going on here. And Tom Warren, who's a major Xbox fanboy, even called him out. So I have to give props to Tom every once in a while, even though the dude is as soft as tissue paper and blocks everybody under the sun. Pretty bizarre, but at least he called him out. So I have to give him some props, right? Like I said, L after L after L. And then people continue to have Colt on their podcasts and other commentary videos. It doesn't make sense to me. Still has a ton of followers. He's misleading, overhyping, all that stuff. Those folks can do them, but I'm here to at least state the truth for you all. Now, before we go here, I do want to share a quick video from Digital Foundry going over some of the specs for the leaked specs on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Check this out.
One really interesting aspect of this is I think the documentation makes direct reference to the fact that 1080p to 4K is referenced, I believe, directly in the documentation, and that is very good. Really interesting aspect of DLSS is that it can take images that are 1/4 the amount of pixels and blow them up to 4 times the amount of pixels and still look really good. I mean, not perfect, but still really good. And that's one area that checkerboard rendering couldn't do. That is one area that FSR cannot do, FSR2. Whenever you look at the comparison of a game running in FSR2 performance mode versus XeSS performance mode using the XMX cores on an Intel Arc chip or using DLSS on an RTX card, it really blows them out of the water, the DLSS and XeSS implementations. They're really great. So this is great. And I think it offsets everything else here in the document as being the most interesting thing here and the one for the most potential and the thing that is actually going to offer perhaps the largest tangible benefit for anyone using this machine is that it's going to offer, we have to see it in person, of course, but it's going to presumably offer really good anti-aliasing, great temporal stability, and since it's machine learning, it's going to be avoiding a lot of the pitfalls that we see in FSR2. And this generation, as it's been going on, has been rife with this. Now that FSR2 has gained popularity on the consoles, or not, there's games that still don't use it. But if there's a library here that they're going to provide from Sony, and it seems like they are based upon the documentation, to just naturally plug it into a game engine with the same inputs as FSR2 and DLSS, it's going to lead to really great image quality in games based upon XeSS and DLSS. So rejoice. This is really good.
All right, so like you can see here, it has a lot of good things going for it, a lot of possibilities. And again, this is just what Digital Foundry is doing with those leaked specs. Going forward from there, we'll just have to see until an official announcement is released, which would probably be this summer at some point. There are rumors, again, I'm not overhyping you because it's just stating that there are rumors that Mark Cerny will have a brief conference or some sort of video that's going to break this down, much like he did with the PlayStation 4 Pro. So we might be on the lookout for that this summer, possibly. If there's more news to follow on that, of course, I will share that with you. That being said, let's end the video here. Lots of good salt content there. A lot of folks trying to figure things out and very upset, and decidedly so. But it is what it is. They make their own bed, therefore they lie in it. I appreciate you sticking around for the entirety of the video. Of course, at this time of recording, we are at 1,532 subscribers, and we have a new goal, folks, because we did hit that 1,500 goal. So thank you so much. You are all fantastic. The support means the world to me. I know we can get to that 2,000 goal. We're continuing to grow. I know you guys like the truth. I know you all enjoy the content from what I've been hearing. So hopefully you continue to do that. I'm hoping to do more with it as time goes on as well. So thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. And remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see you next time on the next Xvault gaming video. Take care.